Hello, everyone. Welcome to this live broadcast. There's only one way to do this, and it's live, and it's doing an intuitive reading, raw really, and uh, saying it as it is, right from instead of like editing and all that kind of thing. I think this is the best way to do this. So hello everyone, welcome. So we're going to take a deep dive today about the Fitbit. Apparently, allegedly, it was two days it was deleted, or 2 days it was I don't know what to say. There was no footage. Footage, is it called footage? There were no recordings for like 2 days of her steps or where she'd been, because normally with a Fitbit you can actually look back at your previous exercise regime, so you can either make improvements there or that kind of worked out for you, so try do that again. And apparently it's had her steps, her Fitbits have been kind of either shut down 2 days before, but prior to that it was like every day. It was like a religious thing, for a ritual of Nicola's to keep tabs on what she'd done the day before and all of this. So this is a really strange phenomena, and I watched one video today, which was one creator that said that this was a setup. I think the video was called Setup. If you want to go and look at that. And so I want to kind of really kind of do a reading on whether it was a setup or not, with this Fitbit being shut off for 2 days before she went missing. I mean, she never even switched it on the day that, supposedly she'd taken the dog for a walk. Or was it just a coincidence, or did she just forget for like 2 days that she'd actually done that? Sometimes, I've had Fitbits, but I'm not a big fanatic like her, and I used to forget to switch it on. Hello, Keely. Hello, C. And I just want to say to my new subscribers, thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. It means an awful lot to me, and also getting to over 17,000 subscribers now is just amazing. So please, if you've not subscribed, please subscribe if you follow and watch my channel. Okay. So this channel is, if you're new to my channel, it's an intuitive gut feeling energy channel. What is your instinct telling you? And I am an empath. I am an intuitive sensitive, but I also do use tools too. So this is what I want to look at here is let's have a deep dive here into the Fitbit. And if you've got any thoughts on this, please let us know. I don't know the specific times of when this was stopped, but it was 2 days before. And I kind of predicted something happened the day before, or 2 days before here at a third party, but this is what I picked up energy wise. and you know, it is intuitive energies, and it is intuitive reading. Okay. Yeah, see, that's great. Yeah, I'm really, really chuffed that I've now got over 17,000, and thank you for subscribing. That is amazing. And just remembering to subscribe is just great. You know, it's just fantastic that you even remember to subscribe. Sometimes I watch channels and I forget to subscribe. Yeah, sync. Yeah, it wasn't synced. Thank you for the correct word there. It wasn't synced. I mean, I'm not no big fitness fanatic. I'll go for a walk daily, maybe a quarter or a mile a day, and that's it. I don't sync any Fitbit. I'm not that crazy with my fitness, although I feel like I should be. I think I used to be. I used to be really into that, but as I've got older, I kind of I'm not kind of can't be bothered now. There's more important things to do than look at a watch all day to see how many steps you've done. Anyway, maybe I should. Maybe I should, because I do need to lose a few pounds, and so maybe I should do that. Hi there. Hi, Sadie girl. Hi, I have an emergency. My son Zed has psychosis. Is he a killer? Oh, 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 oh. So I think I'm going to answer that for you, Sag girl, because we're waiting for people to come here. Thank you so much, Ariane. Thank you. So I'm just going to look at that. Is he a killer? I think if you've got a son who you feel has got psychosis, and you know that there's, you know, they just kind of walk over the line, and there's no boundaries. They just blurt out what they don't even think. There's no kind of monitoring or management of their behavior. They just blurt it out. I think if you are a family member and you've got somebody who suffers from psychosis, and you know that these behaviours are a little bit off, firstly, I feel sorry. I feel sorry for you as parents, because you know this is something that, or siblings, because this is something that, you know, there's something wrong, and you know that this could probably get you into huge problems in the future, or you kind of anticipate that, are they going to step over the line? They keep stepping over the line in other ways here. That would they even step over the line to actually murder somebody? And if you have a child like this, that's worrying. It's worrying, because you know, and sometimes parents enable their children to be like this. They'll say, oh, don't worry about it. You got angry because that person did this. You get angry because this person said that. These types of people are always in the middle of chaos. They always attract chaos. And even if you're an employer and you see this person, you know, it's starting to get chaotic around this person, or it could be your brother, your sister, it's starting to get quite chaotic around this person. Oh, I thought we had this all sorted out, and here we go again, kind of thing. And that's a big red flag, because and you feel responsible. You know, they're grown-ups. They're grown-ups, so I shouldn't have to shadow them all the time and make sure that they're okay all the time, and manage their emotions all the time, and take on this huge responsibility all the time. You have kid or a sibling or someone like in your family that has psychosis, and I'm afraid you must kind of try to manage this before they do some damage, you know, before the police do start knocking at the door. Before, you know, it's usually small things at first, and then it kind of escalates to bigger and bigger things. You know, this psychotic person becomes angry over the most trivial things. That's a big red flag. When a psychotic person becomes angry or over trivia, over normal everyday things like, oh, you know, my sister, my partner asked me to buy a loaf of bread, and you know, what do you think about that? Because they've asked me to go to the shop on the way home from work, and this is making me so angry that they've asked me to pick up some provisions on the way back home. You know, does that mean that I should go back and absolutely tear up the apartment, or wreck or destroy all their belongings? What, you know, I'm not happy about the way that person, my partner, my sibling, told me to take that delivery parcel to the post office. I don't like the way they did that. So I'm going to create, you know, carnage here because of this. And then you get like, and then you get police at the door over something that is supposed to be an everyday occurrence in a normal life, you know. So if you see this, if you see that your son is blowing things, you know, using any situation to blow things out of proportion so they can be you know, so they can explode, they can be aggressive, they can be evil, basically. They can be evil, and they can just strike at any time. You know, for MURDER to actually make that move to murder someone, it could be over something so trivial, and this is something that is a red flag. If you've got someone, you think, oh well, that is so trivial, it's just a loaf of bread, it's just a parcel that you have to take to the supermarket or or wherever you take it to get posted to the post office. It's just trivia. It's just trivia, and it's just a trivial thing. Surely they're not going to explode over that. They do explode over the most mundane things. So is your son a murderer? I think you need to look at his anger. If he gets angry, frustrated, moaning about everyday trivial things, this could be escalating into something quite possibly quite dangerous. And sometimes you have to call this person, you know, call the police on this person, because you know, they're stepping over the line. They're going into territory where they could hurt someone. Sometimes you have to call them, you know, you took my parcel to the post office, and that parcel, you know, in that parcel, it was very important. What did you do with that? So with that, it sparks off this kind of something very trivial will be blown into some magnificent excuse to harm the other person. Yeah. So if you feel, and I think you already know that, Sedgy Girl, that your son is displaying these, what do you do about that? I think that you have to and I know you don't want to call the cops on this person, but I feel it's calling the cops, and then they go to a mental health institute, and it goes on from there, and then they get healing, and then they get their mental health issues get diagnosed properly, because they've actually stepped over the mark, they've hurt someone, they're harming people. And then it's like, this person is on the brink of, a psychotic break. You know that they are heading for a psychotic break. What do? Do you wait for that to happen? Or do you actually help them and say, hey, that's normal. People who ask you to do things like that is normal in a workplace. If you're going to do a trivial thing, that's normal that your girlfriend asks for things like that. It's normal. And why are you getting, if they start to, this is psychosis. They're kicking off with psychosis. And this is where you have to sit down and say, look, I know I'm your mom and I should protect you, but I think you need to go and get some help here. Because somebody asking you just to pick up a loaf of bread from the shop, or somebody asking you to take a parcel to on your way home, or on the way because it's more convenient, it's not a major thing to actually commit this horrible thing. But these people will use any Monday, and this is a big red flag, is when they use any kind of ordinary, mundane, boring, everyday thing to use that as an excuse to harm someone. Okay, that's a big red flag. Okay, is he a killer? I'm going to ask you to, with this behavior, the way that I think if he's kicking out and he's doing this to you and he's destroying your home, and he's, the slightest thing, like you say, oh, can you just pick that up there? That don't, before you go to bed, can you just tidy up a little bit your things and just put them away properly? And if they are using that as an excuse to tear your place apart and do some damage and verbally abuse you, then you need to call the cops on this person, because they need help. They need help. They're crying. What they're doing is they're actually crying for help. They're actually saying, I can't cope with normal everyday life where somebody just tells me a normal everyday thing, like just pick up a loaf of bread. I can't cope with an everyday normal thing like taking something to the post office like a normal person would do. I can't do that without damage control. Then that person's got a problem. That person has got big problems, and it could lead to something that's very destructive. Okay, and that's anybody here who knows anybody like that. It's a big red flag. It's a big red flag that they need help. Whether that's your sibling, or whoever that may be, whether that's your son, your daughter, that's a big red flag. I think you can't stop somebody from being very destructive. In the case of this Nicola Bulley case, if this person was psychotic or had psychosis, and Nicola just said, would you mind just going to the supermarket and just picking up some provisions while I just go and walk around the park and take Willow for a walk? And they do that every morning like it's a ritual. Hey, Paul, would you mind just picking up some things while I take yeah, but wasn't that your turn to do that? Wasn't that your turn to go to the supermarket? You're the one that's taking Willow. for this walk. You're the one that's going to the school. It's my, I really look forward to this chill out time without the kids. And now you're asking me to, what I normally do when I do this, I normally just nip to the supermarket on the way back after dropping the kids off and actually taking Willow for a walk. Why are you asking me to do that as well? I really look forward to that time out. I really look forward to that time out. And I'm not saying Paul did this, but like, for instance, I'm just saying if they've got psychosis, I'm not accusing Paul of psychosis or anything like that. I'm just saying for this lady's benefit here, Saji, that if they're splitting hairs about normal, everyday living a normal life, would that person then plan a few days ahead? Yesterday you asked me to go to Tesco supermarket or Walmart when it was your turn. So, no way. And it's like something breaks the camel's back. And it's like, how? That's it. You're not asking me to do that again. I'm going to teach you a lesson that you're not going to ask me to do that again. You're not going to ask me to do that again. Then we get a wellness check. Then we get a wellness check saying, oh, what's going on here? Nicola is in tears here. She is absolutely distraught. But Nicola wants to protect her family and her husband. And saying, oh, okay. I asked him to go to the supermarket when it was my turn, and because he's a raging narcissistic sociopath, he took that as something else, and then he smashed up the place, and then he blamed me, and then he started to tear into me, and now I can't cope with that because I'm going through the menopause. I'm extra nervous and extra sensitive because I'm going through the perimenopause. I didn't know how to cope with it. Okay, we just had some kind of thing. It's nothing really. It's my fault because I'm going through the perimenopause. But in reality, it's Paul kind of dissecting, splitting hairs about it was your turn to go to the supermarket that day. I look forward to my time out. You're asking me to do, I'm sick of those kids. I take those kids every day to school. I took them for you yesterday because you had the perimenopause. I let you have a day off. I went to the supermarket. All of this thing is trivial. And what this does is spark some ridiculous drama. And normal people don't know this about psychosis. Normal everyday people, normal everyday mentally functioning people don't know about having to deal with a sociopath or someone like that. They don't know. They don't know that the years of just asking them to go to the Tesco on the way home is going to spark some kind of episode. So going back to the Nicola Bulley case, then what about the situation of 2 days before this actually gets unsynced? Okay. Hi there. Hi, everyone. Sending love to you. Thank you for coming. I think we've all known somebody like this, going back in the day when you first started dating. I was thinking about this the other day, actually. How pathetic dating is when you're younger, the girl, she's women are always more emotionally mature than boys are, because we're built to have children at like 15, 16. And so we're built to be more, not all of us, but we're built to be more emotionally mature. And so you have this, and I remember looking back in the day, you have this emotionally mature female who's thinking about building a home, getting a job, getting great jobs, building a home together. Right off the bat, well, we need to get good jobs so we can get a mortgage, so we can have kids, so we can get married, so we can, because this is the way that women are built. And then the men are supposed to be strong, and the men are supposed to be strong to help you build this shelter and to then have offspring. But our modern society gives us so much and many options. It's like and you've got this guy that is so looking back at your relationships years ago when you was 18, 19, 20, whenever you were, and you look back how pathetic your boyfriend was, or your partner was, and just wanting to run with the herd, and you're just ready to pump out babies, and good God, and I think that's just all instinct, by the way, is wanting. But some guys, I mean, boys of certain age, boys that age, I think, God, there's no way that I want to have children. And some of them have got issues too. They've seen their mothers grow up as a single parent and really struggled alone, having a child so young, having had them so young, and then got instilled into their head that it's wrong to have babies and get into relationships too young. And then they are so fearful of actually intimacy and getting into a relationship. And then, I mean, a normal upbringing, with the loving parents. I had parents that were together, well, until I was in my teenage years, which is, I'm grateful that they stayed together until then, because I got the image of a couple together that, that loved each other, although they did have a lot of rows. But hey, we've all got our issues, okay? I'm not saying that we're all perfect. I remember the rows every night. But anyway, they stuck it out. As they did back then, they stuck it out back then. But what am I rambling on about now? I'm rambling on because some guys don't even grow up, especially if they're narcissists. That guy at 18 that couldn't make that commitment because they were fearful. They'd not even got out of their nappies at that age, and they think, no, I don't want to have kids. Yeah, I want the rest of it. I want sex, and I want all the rest of it. And I want to try different types of women, and but I don't want, these narcissists don't even grow out of that stage. So you've got a narcissist who, like, is in their 40s, late 40s, mid 40s, or 50s, or 60s even. And they're still kind of saying, oh, no, I don't want children. You trapped me into that situation to have children. Yeah, I don't want to get married. No way do I want to get married. And so you've got a mixture here. And I'm thinking about Paul Ansel, actually. He didn't want to get married. He didn't want, if he didn't want to get married, and he had a stunted emotional maturity of like a 17-year-old, still wanting to run around with the herd, still trying to prove himself to Ed and that crowd, still wanting to prove himself, and I've ridiculously screwed up all my life, but here I am, pretending to actually because I'm riding the back of these people. And then you get someone in that group that can see that, who is a psychopath, who is more dangerous than someone, a narcissist, okay? And you have a psychopath that can see right into that. Okay, so Paul has not grown up here. He's still a 16-year-old, okay, in a man's body. He will not commit to Nicola. He didn't plan on having children. He didn't plan on all of this yet. He's in his 40s. Okay. He's been running away from being an adult for all his life. So how's that going to make Nicola feel? How is that going to make Nicola feel? How is that going to make Nicola feel chasing that guy to grow up? You know, that's all it takes is someone who is an intellectual psychopath to home in on that situation. And if you do membership, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about right now. Sounds like I'm nuts, but it's like what I pick up intuitively. So did somebody home in on that? Some disgusting animal that kind of is so clever that I think, okay, I can prove to, or I can play with this. I can play with this now like some game. I can play with this like some game. I can show Nicola that I'm so attracted to her. I can do that psychopathic stare into her soul. Like, you know, I actually know who you are inside out. And I'm ready to be that man who you've always dreamt of. You know, that man who wants to be, there for you. There's too many bloody psychos in this world, to be honest with you. There's too many. There's too many. And if you look back at yeah, I think some men find it hard to be vulnerable. I think if they look out for these guys that are brought up in a single parent families, they're the ones that find it hard to want to be vulnerable with you. They don't see it as natural. And when they say like single mothers, and I'm not having a go at single mothers because you know I think you're all great. You have it hard and that kind of thing. There's this message from single mothers to boys that say, you know, all men are bastards, all men are horrible, they're not to be trusted. So they find it, they actually feel that they are this character, and they find it extremely hard to connect with a female, a loving partner, because they have this backstory that you know the single parent has fed them. So anyway, this is fascinating. I think this is absolutely fascinating talking about this kind of thing. But the psychopath, going back to the psychopath here, actually homed in on this on Paul, who is who may have been called out to them that night. You know, we're talking about Lancashire police here. They could have been, you know, this person, talking about a psychopath here. I'm thinking it could be the Marsh Farm situation, but who's to say that it wasn't somebody who came that night when when they were called out for that wellness check? And somebody thought, haha, yeah, 2 days, a week before, look how beautiful she is. And she's having to deal with that person, another psychopath, you know? So let's pull some cards out here. the Fitbit, okay. Was this set up? Because I wanted to look at this. Was this actually set up? Please put comments in the live chat there, because you know, that's what I'm here for. Let's have a look. Harp Sailor. Not all women want kids. I'm 48. Yeah, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that all women. I didn't say that all females want children. No, not at all. In fact, some people, some women maybe want a child, but they want the equality, the equality in the relationship. But the man takes the responsibility as much as the mother does. The father does take the responsibility as much as the mother takes the responsibility, and they work as a team. And then you get this issue of the man not agreeing to that. You know, you're the mother, and you need to do everything here. And then the woman feels like I'm doing everything. I pay for their clothing. I pay for their everything they need. I wash their clothes. I do the cooking. I do the cleaning. I do everything. And this is not what I invested into with this relationship. You know, it's like some women are saying, I wanted an equal relationship where we worked as a team. So yeah, there's all sorts of different complicated relationships. Not all women want kids. No, they don't. And I'm not saying that anybody should have kids if they don't want kids. Absolutely not. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much. So yeah, this is like I'm preambling a bit because I'm working up to the fact that this Fitbit was unsynced, you know, 2 days before. So I'm going to look at, and if you've just come on here, please, please just rewind, go back and listen to, hi Heike, how are you? So let's have a look. Mary, why did you retract your message? I thought that was a lovely message. Thank you. Hello, Lawrence Paul. Hello, everyone. It is about Nicola. I will actually say on the title there, Fitbit. Okay. But while we're waiting for people to come on live, I thought I'd just do a bit of a chat there. So let's have a look at Nicola's Fitbit. Turned off 2 days before she went missing. And why would she do that when she's just about to go for a walk around, you know, the backfield there, a top field or whatever you call it, and right round there to the caravan park. And why would she do that when she's going for a walk? It doesn't make sense. So let's pull up some cards here. Yeah, I'm picking up on energies. I picked up the energies of Nicola. She doesn't trust it. She gave out this big kind of energy that she doesn't trust Paul. You know, they've got 2 kids together. Yeah, very strange people, actually. Yeah. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse. And the Queen of Pentacles, any excuse is like, we've not got enough money to get married. I've already, you know, we've already got 2 kids. What do we want to get married for? We've been there, got the t-shirt. What do we want to do that for? So this was like, start, you know, giving this energy out to other people that I don't, you know, I don't trust this guy. I don't trust him. And juggling life. I feel juggling life here. Juggling life. So this kind of not wanting to get married, this like stunted emotional maturity of an 18-year-old. Why do we need to get married? We've got 2 kids. There's no need. I didn't want kids anyway. I wanted to be the ever, you know, the forever kind of child here. And you know, when you're going into your 40s and you're still thinking like that, I think you need to go and get therapy, because there's an issue. There is an issue there. There's an issue. There's also this thinking about, yeah, I get separating from Paul. So this is definitely coming in. Somebody clued into the fact that she's thinking about leaving Paul. This person, who's involved, I feel is a third party, whoever's involved with this could see this, and you only need one psychopath to tune into, wow, you know, she's not happy with him and he doesn't want to marry her. That's going to make her feel very undervalued. And you know, a psychopath will use that as like some tool here. And I get here, this is Nicola, a very tender, sensitive soul here. Very tender, sensitive soul, wanting to follow her dreams, to get married, to eventually get married after having two beautiful children. I also get a pregnancy too. She could have been pregnant. Again, I didn't want a third child. What is this about? And a very sensitive type. Very sensitive type. They, instead of putting a foot down, like some women would put their foot down and say, you know, God, no, we are going to get married. You are going to value me as a woman, as a female. I'm not going to walk around unmarried and feel disgraced, you know, by society because of your lack of commitment. Hell no. If you want to be with me, you damn well marry me, you know, or that's it. We're finished. I don't feel that she was like that. I don't feel that she was like that. No, I don't. I do get this illicit affair. You see, these types of guys, when they don't want to commit, don't want to give up their little flings, you know, if I get married or if I commit to you, that means I'll have to give up my side pieces, my mistresses. This was a turning point for her, and this is where the quarrel started. I mean, we're talking about the Fitbit, but I feel this is somebody who's actually observed this, some psycho that's observed this, her bringing back story, guess what's happened now kind of thing. I can't believe what he said now. And the other person, the psycho, saying, oh, please tell me, what has he said now? You know, and putting the arm round Nicola and saying, tell me that's just wrong. You know, beautiful woman like you, you know, if it was me, I wouldn't hesitate. I'd run down the aisle for somebody like you. You know, this type of thing here. Oh, thank you for repeating that. Great, thank you. I get the King of Cups, and what an idiot Paul is, basically. I think it's only after the incident that he realizes what he's lost here with the King of Cups. Oh gosh, if it wasn't for my childish ways, I don't even feel that he's got the capability of doing that, actually. You know, thinking and reflecting on God. I was so immature, even at 48, I was so immature. And I still wasn't married, you know, I was still not going to marry her. And there's another person, yeah, I get the loving person. That's Nicola next to. So he's thinking, he feels that because he didn't marry her, because he was this forever kind of teenager in his head, this psychopath picked up on this. Whoever that may have been, whoever that may have been. So was it a setup then? Did somebody switch off their Fitbit? That's what I wanted to ask. I feel this person, whoever's done this, actually watched from afar here for quite some time. So that she, Nicola was in some sort of DA situation, or that's the way it was labelled. So who did this? Who switched off? Was it actually, let's use the other card, was it actually a setup? Was the Fitbit unsynced 2 days before, knowing that they would find out that she didn't go on that walk, or she had been left, she would have been directed to somewhere else a few days before, and then they would find where that location was because the Fitbit would actually show that. Was this a setup? Let's have a look. Was this actually a setup? Did somebody set this up? Because apparently the timing, okay, the timing. Oh, look at that. This card here is the clover, the four-leaf clover, and this is timing, and it had to be done quite swiftly. The timing was all about the timing. Okay. If that Fitbit was on all the time as it normally is, they're going to work out the timing here of when she disappeared. They're going to work out where she was at that particular timing. Wow, that is quite poignant, actually. The timing. They will work out where she is at that particular time. Was this set up? This person researched this. And I get here, you don't know me, but I researched this. I have the knowledge here of what they would do in this kind of investigation. So would you say that's saying, those cards are saying that this was a setup? If this person with the first card is saying the timing, and the second card is all about research and knowledge of what to do in a certain situation, in a certain investigation, this person has a lot of knowledge here of that. But it's a bit stupid because the Fitbit was unsynced. So surely the police are going to say, why was that unsynced on that day, 2 days before? Was somebody setting this up? Wouldn't that be a red flag to the police? Wouldn't that be a little bit of evidence there? And also the CCTV cameras near the caravan park were switched off. So wouldn't that have been like... So somebody researched this before, okay. Somebody researched this before. Well, I get the bridge again, bridge. The bridge. Connection between the building and the bridge, if you remember. The connection between the building and the bridge. The building and the bridge. So the building and the bridge possibly didn't have any CCTV cameras, or she didn't even go on that walk. Didn't even go on that walk. I get a female here, which is, this could be a female involved, or it could be Nicola. Okay. Could be a female involved, or it could be Nicola. With this female, there was a misunderstanding. with this female, there is a misunderstanding. The storm, you know, this card here indicates the storm. The storm, okay. The storm, a misunderstanding. The farmhouse and the bridge, yeah. A misunderstanding. Okay, the misunderstanding happened between the building and the bridge. Misunderstanding happened between the building and the bridge. It was with a female. It was with a female. This person took a risk here. And then we get and this is where the attack took place. The attack took place here between, I've got the snake here. Look at the teeth on the snake. This is like an attack. It's like this is where it took place, the bite of the snake. The bite of the snake. Somebody took a risk and we get the bite of the snake. Between the bridge and, oh God, this was the mistress. This was the mistress who did this to her. This is the mistress who did this to her. The mistress. And well, this is what this is saying, because this is saying, I'm just reading the card. I've got the snake here. Snake, and I have the mistress. So looking at this previously, somebody was watching this relationship between Paul and Nicola, looking at it as like, oh, they're not getting along. He doesn't love her. And really kind of focusing in on this. Yeah, the mistress. Wow. I'm not going to say who this may be. You can put that in your comments, and you can also put it in there. But I get the mistress and the snake. Oh, she could have found out about the mistress. She could have found out about the mistress, and this was this was completely unbearable with the large big bear here. This was totally overbearing, unbearable, and stressful because she found out about this affair. There was a gift here, so this could have been, the gift could have been a celebration for, you know, inviting her. I've got a gift for you, or let's have some drinks together. I've got this for you because you've done so well. I've got a gift for you. Oh, look at this, coming together. Let's talk about this. So she found out about the mistress. Somebody wanted to make it up to her and say, let's go and talk about this. Let's go and talk about this. Let's talk about this together. That's what this card means, is talk. Let's talk about this together. Let's talk about this together. I don't appreciate people. Yeah, I do understand. You've mentioned Michelle After Dark now. Okay, Michelle After Dark's got another channel, and you've mentioned her a lot in the chat there. I do understand that she, you know, but please, I don't want people being diverted away from my channel. I don't do what Michelle After Dark does. I'm an intuitive energy reader, and I'm sensitive, and she does completely different to what I do. I don't do that. So if you're thinking that you're going to mention Michelle after dark because she competes with me, or there's no competition, because I don't do what she does. I'm not even like Michelle in the dark. So please, I prefer if you didn't do that, and have some respect in the chat. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's continue. Yeah, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this together. I've got something for you. Oh, this is getting quite close to, I feel, what's happened here. So in that sense, what I'm getting here is, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm not going to mention it again, but I don't do what the others do, other people do. I'm an energy reader. So let's have a look here. I think we're getting close to what happened, because here, if you can make out what that means, is the snake, invitation, let's go and talk. Let's go and talk. Well, I think it's a bit cheap, to be honest. I'll just mention it one more time. I feel it is a bit cheap to mention 3 times another creator that I don't even do what Michelle in the dark does. I don't. I've not anywhere near what she does. Okay. I just want to say, I just feel it's cheap to advertise somebody else's channel on my chat. It's just so cheap. It's just not respectful at all. So thank you, Tracy Hughes. Thank you. So we'll go further. We're getting close to what I feel we're getting close to what's happened here. So we're talking about who actually switched off that sync. Somebody researched this prior to this happening. Somebody knew that they had problems at home. Somebody knew that they had a wellness check, a welfare check, or whatever that is. Somebody knew that they were going through problems because they were listening. They were talking to either Paul and talking to Nicola about it, pretending that they cared. So, and somebody knew this. So was this set up? Was it set up? I'm going to let you decide. Was this set up? And we get the mistress that's popped up here too. We also get the psycho that's watching. Who's the psycho that's watching this? Who's watching what's going on here, and how I can adapt this to making it look like a suicide or an accident. We get the children here hiding behind the children. There's the children to consider. This also could be someone that's very, very immature. This could also be someone that's very immature, that didn't kind of, always. You never know who's watching. You never know who is, getting involved with your situation in the psychotic, psycho way. You always keep your cards close to your chest and never give anything away privately about your relationship, your marriage. Everything like that should be sacred and private and not shared with others, because once you share it with others like that, you're talking about some psycho could be watching here. Well, okay, you've given me that open door here, this opportunity to destroy this person and actually get away with this. You don't know what psycho is listening to you, taking this seriously, seeing how they can use this as some kind of weapon, weaponize it. You never know. But I get this person was so immature that they went blabber mouthing around, blabber, blabber, blabber. Our sex life is absolutely disastrous, but this is because this person's a child and is scared of intimacy, scared of getting married, and so stupid to go blabber mouthing around that there was like psychos listening to them. So always be aware of that. Keep things private. Was the murderer a stranger or did they know them? Let's have a look here. I've got my pendulum. Got a question here. Was the perpetrator a stranger? Or did they know Nicola and Paul? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes or no? Sorry, I moved my arm and it's difficult. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit, okay? So I can hold my arm right properly. Did they know did Nicola and Paul know this perpetrator? Yes or no? Did they know the perpetrator? Yes or no? Yes, they did. But when you say did they know them, I don't think they knew that they were psychopathic and they were psycho. They thought they knew them. It's like anything, that energy that came through there is that they thought they knew them. But obviously they didn't know them, did they? So naive and stupid to share their private life with these psychos, so stupid and naive. Oh, she told me to go for a loaf of bread on the way back from, and yet she was taking Willow for a walk, and I'm totally sick and tired of this. I mean, how pathetic is that? How childish is that? It's like, oh my God, get a grip. Lots of gossip too. This is it. Gossip about their relationship, gossip about their marriage. I think everybody in the village knew what was going on with Nicola and Paul's not marriage, relationship. Oh, he won't marry her. He won't marry her. Oh, he keeps, talking about her. He bitches and moans about her like a real bitch woman, It's just like, that kind of, I get Paul being like, yeah, slander with this card here, I'll get the snake again. Snake, lots of snakes in the village. Gossip, yeah. Gossip, lots of snakes in the village. Slander, bites, bites is like cruel. Bites is hurtful, very hurtful. Hurtful slander. I get like, is, Paul acting like a real bitch. The reason why I won't marry her is because she's so sweet and she's so loving and she's everything you would want from a woman, but great body and great with the kids, but she asked me to go and get her a loaf of bread. We're running out of bread. We're running out of milk. Can you get it from on the way back? And she's just awful. How wicked is she? She's just evil. I can't cope with that anymore. That kind of thing. Very childish. I feel even a child would say that. I think if you asked a child, I haven't got time to nip out, or I'm really sick and I'm poorly, can you just do that on the way back? Yeah, the marriage situation, the ring. Something about the ring. Something about a ring here. You probably know more about the ring than I do. The ring comes into this. There's a ring here. It could be an engagement ring. It could be a ring. There's a ring here on somebody's hand. It could be a friendship ring. Somebody gave their mistress a ring or something like that. And, you know, she's wearing the ring. You know, I've got this promise of marriage and I'm the mistress. And she's not even got a promise of it either. She's not got a promise of marriage. Yeah, I've got the ring on my finger. Hello, Kirsty Green. Hi there. Please subscribe and thank you for coming. Lots of communication, text messages, backwards and forwards, text messages. I don't know where we're going with this now. There's like information here, text messages, letters, text messages, that kind of thing here. Did she leave a letter? Did Nicola leave a letter to say that she was, did she leave a letter? Okay, so there was two choices, two doors here. Yeah, thank you, Anna. I get two doors to choose from. A crossroads. I feel this was Paul. He'd reached crossroads. He needed to choose which door to go through. You see, if Paul is an immature 18-year-old in a 48-year-old man's body, he will love that kind of catch me if you can games, and he will love the chase and the excitement of a girlfriend, because these men don't want a wife, and they don't want certainly don't want a mother figure or a wife. In fact, that reminds them of that awful mother that they had, a single parent mother or something. So they actually, I'm not saying anything about single parents, you know, I have a lot of respect, but there is that with single moms, and it, you know, rubbing off on their sons that but anyway, I get like narcissistic, hasn't grown up from 18-year-old, and I get like an 18, 50, even 15-year-old man in a 48-year-old body. I don't know how old he is, but I get that issue. And it's like, oh, you know, I prefer to have a girlfriend, not a mother figure, somebody who can give birth to children and be like a proper full-grown woman that's able to give birth to children. I don't want a person that can give birth to children like a grown-up. I just want a girlfriend. I just want that girlfriend feeling, you know, lots of fun and, you know, and sex, and I just want a girlfriend. I don't want a grown woman, you know. That's really puts me off. The fact that they can give birth to children, that really puts me off, and be a mother, and you know, so I prefer just a girlfriend, you know, that kind of. Yeah, there's lots of secrets here with the moon card. I think there's so many layers to this. It's unbelievable. This is like somebody's passionate. You know, I've got the hots for a girlfriend. I've got, you know, I can get hot and steamy in the bedroom with a girlfriend, but not a woman that can give birth to a child and be a grown up. And that's what I get with that card there. Again, I get take a risk. So this is going right round in a circle here about the mistress. And I get the man here, the main man here, the partner. The main man, the partner. Here, took a risk. This main man, partner, took a risk here with the dice. I feel to have an affair. I want a girlfriend. I want a girlfriend. You know, I want to just have fun and have a girlfriend. I don't want real life kind of thing. And then we get the death card, which is the ending to all of this. The ending. I don't even feel it's a ladies' man. I feel this person is like a 15-year-old boy with his first girlfriend. You know, that rush of hormones, and it's like exciting and it's embarrassing and it's making me blush, that kind of. I like the chase. It's that kind of, like, they play, you know, they go cycling together, they do like girlfriend and boyfriend things together. So I get the death card here, and then we get the death card. Somebody did their research with this book here, the book. The book is knowledge. Somebody did their knowledge, their and the question I asked with this reading is, was this set up? Was this set up? And I actually get here, again, I get the book card, and the book is, this person did a lot of research and I have not a lot of knowledge here. And this is saying, I'm sure this, I'll ask the pendulum, was this set up? The Fitbit was actually switched off 2 days before. Was that actually this was Nicola? Was Nicola being set up here? Had Nicola been set up? Was the whole thing set up by a third party? Yes or no? And that's saying yes, it was. Yes, it was all set up by a third party. I'm not going to say who it is. I couldn't be 100% about that. But this is saying this was set up. The whole thing was set up. To what extent was it set up? I think it's given us a number of clues in that reading. You can dissect that reading, go back, watch it again and dissect it and come up with a conclusion there. But I'm just going to leave it there, because that is a card reading. It's intuitive energies, gut feelings, instincts, using energies, my sensitive, intuitive energies, and using the pendulum and the cards. Horrible situation, absolutely horrible. Poor Nikki. But this is saying this was set up. I can't believe that the Lancashire police are not seeing that this was the Fitbit was unsynced 2 days before. Isn't that some kind of big red flag? Am I missing something here? And then we get this affair that keeps coming out. Every time I do a reading, it's like this affair. And the reasons why this affair was because, like, Paul was like a boy in a big man's body. Couldn't, you know, it wasn't man enough to marry, you know, the mother of his children. When it all transpired, he kind of thought, oh my God, here I'm running around like an 18-year-old, and Nicola has gone missing. It hasn't got anything to do with me. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you for coming. And I'm sorry that I had my little rant there in between. I know there's thousands and hundreds and thousands of creators out there. And I feel that I am one of those hundreds and thousands of creators. And I feel that it's respect that everybody's an individual, everybody's at home or wherever they are doing their creative work, and to actually try to bounce people away on the chat like that is very disrespectful. I mean, it's not just like that lady that you mentioned on the chat. It's there's hundreds of people out there, thousands of people that create, not just me, okay, and another person. Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Please do not do that again, okay? I don't mind other creators coming on here who want to support my channel. I don't mind that at all. But I'd like a bit of respect in that sense, okay? I think there's too much disrespect out there to actually, to actually do that. So thank you, and thank you for coming. Thank you for subscribing. Also, please join our membership as well, and also please subscribe. I've reached 17,000 now subscribers. I've been doing this now 8 years, but I've got 8 years and it's taken me all this time to get to 17 subscribers. But thank you, every one of you, for whether you like my intuitive energies, and whether you like the crime work that I do, or whether you like the personal readings that I do. Thank you so much for or the royal family. Okay, thank you so much. Or predictions even. Thank you so much for coming. Love all of you. Okay, and have a great evening, and bye for now, everyone. Love all of you. Okay, and bye now. And I love all the other channels too. I just want to finish with, I love all the other creators. I respect the other creators. 150% takes a lot of hard work to be a creator. It takes a lot of hard work to build up. 8 years it's taken me to get 17,000 subscribers. So it's not an overnight thing. I don't compete with others. You're all welcome here, and thank you, all of you. Okay. And I have much respect for other creators too, all right? So thank you, and love all of you. Bye for now. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.